I have a philosophy about what I do, and that is that I believe that everybody really wants to make a difference in this world, and that my job is simply providing them the opportunity to do that. I get to ask them to support this or that, or to provide an endowed scholarship so that students can afford to attend PLU, but the decision is always theirs. And so I really believe that that people want to make a difference, that it's my job to give them that opportunity, and the only way to give them that opportunity is to ask them.
The failure to ask is huge in every organization that's ever been involved in a campaign, and I have to chuckle a little bit when I think about the president of this one community college when he told me this story, and this is a true story. He was serving on a board, and there was another member of the board that had great capacity, but this board member had never been asked. Everyone was nervous about asking this particular person for a gift commensurate with his ability. And time went on, and this man always gave $1,000 a year, and he would also provide auction items for their special event. But there never was any major gift ask of this individual. Then one time, this particular president was looking within the newspaper, and he saw his board member's name, and this board member had made a gift of $10 million to a four-year university in Florida. And so he was just aghast, because this particular board member had never given anything even close to that amount of money to his organization, and was an alum of this organization, and not to the organization where he just made the gift of $10 million. So this president had a conversation with his board member, and he said, "That was wonderful that you made such a gift. I'm just curious, how did you pick that school, and how did you focus on that amount? And why have you never done something like that for us?" And this particular president said he'll never forget the answer. He goes, "Well, first of all, you've never asked. Secondly, I had the ability. And thirdly, they did." This president said he'll never make that mistake again.
I do have a favorite story. It was actually one of the first experiences that I had in the development business. And I shared this story recently, and so it's fresh in my mind. And I was visiting with, well, I was about to go visit with a supporter of the university, and his son, who I knew pretty well, had said, "Make sure you ask him for money," he said to me. "Make sure you ask him for money." And so I kind of thought, well, I'm new in this business, asking for money, I was kind of nervous about it. And this guy had already been giving pretty generously, and so my real intention was just to say thank you. But his son said, "Make sure you ask him for money." So we had a very nice lunch, and at the end of the lunch we drove back to his house, and I thanked him again for all that he does, and for the students, and then he hands me a check. And the check's for $1,000. And I said, "Thank you, that's generous. You've already given a gift of that size this year, and this is just wonderful that you would make this additional contribution." He hands it to me, and then he reaches into his pocket and opens up another check, and in that check, I could see was written $5,000. So I looked, and he grabbed the check and he just tore it in two. And he said to me, "That's the check that I was going to give you if you'd asked me for money." So I learned at that moment that, that you have to ask for gifts in order to get the gifts.